there is a version of you that your current self avoids becoming. He wakes before comfort speaks. He moves before doubt can form. He acts without consulting his emotions. He does not need motivation. He does not need applause. He does not need permission. He simply executes. And because of that, he becomes difficult to disturb. But here is the truth most men refuse to confront. That version of you is not built through inspiration. He is built through discipline. And discipline is not modern, it is ancient. Before productivity systems, before motivational speakers, before optimization culture, there were men who endured war, exile, plague, betrayal, and did not collapse internally. They were not fearless. They were structured. They were governed. They lived by law. And the mind is no different than an empire. If it is not governed, it will fracture. Today we return to 10 Stoic principles that build discipline not as a habit, but as identity. 1. Eliminate negotiation. Imagine a Roman legionary standing in freezing rain before sunrise. Armor heavy, shield soaked, feet blistered, the horn sounds. He does not debate, he marches, not because he feels strong, not because he feels inspired, but because he has removed negotiation. The modern man negotiates constantly, with sleep, with effort, with discomfort. 5 more minutes. I deserve a break. I'll start next week. Each negotiation feels harmless. But negotiation is erosion. Every time you debate with your lower self, you weaken the chain of command. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "At dawn, when you struggle to get out of bed, remind yourself you have work as a human being." He did not romanticize discipline, he commanded it. Remove negotiation from your mornings, from your training, from your commitments. If you said you would do it, do it. No internal parliament, no debate. Discipline begins where negotiation ends. 2. Decide before emotion arrives. Most men attempt discipline in the moment. That is why they fail. Emotion is unstable. Fatigue alters judgment. Temptation distorts reasoning. Discomfort magnifies doubt. The Stoics practiced pre-decision. They rehearsed adversity before it came. They imagined insult before it arrived. They imagined loss before it unfolded. Why? Because preparation removes surprise, and surprise weakens resolve. When the alarm rings, it should not be a question. It should be execution of a decision already made. When insult strikes, it should not provoke chaos. It should trigger a pre-decided response. Modern psychology confirms this. Pre-commitment reduces emotional volatility. The disciplined man does not rely on willpower. He relies on structure. He builds systems so that emotion becomes irrelevant. Pre-decide who you are, and the moment loses power over you. 3. Make comfort optional. Cato the Younger was one of Rome's most severe men. He held power, influence, wealth, yet he walked barefoot in winter. He wore simple clothing. He refused luxury, not for spectacle, for training. He trained himself not to depend on softness. Modern life makes comfort constant, temperature controlled, food abundant, entertainment instant. Comfort is not evil, but dependence on comfort breeds fragility. If your productivity collapses when tired, you are dependent. If your discipline disappears when bored, you are fragile. The Stoics exposed themselves to voluntary discomfort. They fasted to weaken hunger's control. They endured cold to weaken climate's influence. They slept simply to weaken luxury's grip. Discipline grows when comfort becomes optional. Train yourself to function without ideal conditions. Then you become adaptable, and adaptability creates resilience. 4. govern the inner republic. Rome survived through governance. Senators debated. Law restrained impulse. Order limited chaos. Your mind is a republic. Your impulses are citizens. Your desires campaign loudly. Your fears riot in the streets. Without governance, chaos wins. Epictetus taught that the only thing within your control is your judgment. Everything else, external. Anger rises, you govern it. Laziness whispers, you overrule it. Fear escalates, you analyze it. Discipline is internal governance. Without it, you become ruled by emotion. And emotion does not build stability. You must become the law within. 5. Practice without gaps. Roman soldiers trained daily, even in peace. They drilled formations repeatedly. They practiced shield walls when no enemy stood before them. Why? Because identity is built in repetition. Modern men seek intensity. 1 week of extreme effort, then collapse. Intensity impresses, consistency transforms. Miss one day intentionally. It becomes easier to miss the next. Small cracks widen. The Stoics understood that character is repetition. Each disciplined act is a vote. Each vote shapes identity. Practice without gaps, even when bored, even when unseen, especially when unseen. 6. Train under resistance. Hardship is not interruption, it is forge. Roman soldiers carried weight beyond necessity. Spartan boys trained under deprivation. Stoics rehearsed exile and death. Why? Because stress strengthens adaptation. Modern neuroscience confirms hormesis. Small, controlled stress builds resilience. Avoiding all stress builds fragility. If you avoid hard conversations, you weaken courage. If you avoid physical exertion, you weaken endurance. If you avoid silence, you weaken clarity. Train under resistance. Lean into discomfort intentionally. Without heat, steel remains soft. 7. Shrink to what you control. Epictetus was enslaved. His body was injured. His freedom restricted. Yet he taught that true freedom is internal. He did not control his chains. He controlled his reaction. Modern men exhaust themselves fighting external chaos, news cycles, opinions, outcomes. But discipline thrives in simplicity. Control effort, control focus, control response, release the rest. When you shrink your world to controllables, you reduce anxiety. Reduced anxiety increases consistency. Consistency strengthens identity. Clarity builds discipline. 8. Build self-trust. Roman soldiers swore sacred oaths. Breaking them meant dishonor. You swear oaths daily, quiet ones. I'll start tomorrow. I'll wake early. I'll stop procrastinating. Each broken promise fractures identity. Self-trust erodes quietly. And without self-trust, discipline collapses. Rebuild trust slowly. Keep small promises. Wake when you say you will. Finish what you begin. Speak less. Execute more. Self-trust accumulates quietly until it changes posture. The man who trusts himself does not hesitate. He acts. 9. Endure in silence. Seneca faced forced death calmly, not glorified, not dramatized, composed. The Stoics valued quiet endurance, no spectacle, no announcement, no applause. Discipline is private, the early workout no one sees, the restraint no one praises, the study session without audience. Modern culture rewards performance. Stoicism rewards alignment. Endure quietly, and strength becomes internal. Internal strength does not depend on validation. X. Anchor. Discipline to identity. The final principle is identity. Stop attempting discipline. Become disciplined. Marcus Aurelius did not try to act emperor-like. He embodied it. Identity shapes behavior automatically. Say, I am a man who acts. I am a man who rises. I am a man who governs himself. You do not rise to goals. You fall to identity. Build identity carefully, protect it daily, live it relentlessly. Discipline then becomes natural. Two futures stand before you. One negotiates, one executes, one delays, one acts, one collapses under pressure, one remains steady. The difference is not talent, it is discipline, and discipline is law. The empire you must rule is not external, it is within. Write your constitution, obey it, and you will not require motivation. You will have sovereignty. Walk this path, build this identity, become difficult to disturb. This is the way of the Stoic philosopher.